So good morning to all and welcome to our Thursday morning gathering brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. And this is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino and so delighted to be here with Tara Healey, founder and director of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare's mindfulness program. Happy Thursday to Tara.
Happy Thursday, Suzanne and everyone. I'm delighted to be here with you.
So nice to have you here and so nice to be at the Thursday point in the week of those of you that have had a busy week. That feeling of Thursday has always been a nice feeling of almost getting to the end of the week. So welcome to Thursday to all of you. So Tara will start us off with a question this morning, as she always does, and then share a few thoughts and then just lead us in at least 12-minute guided practice. And for anyone new, that will be guided all along, and there'll be a few minutes of silent time just to get all of us used to that type of practice. And then we'll wrap it up sometime around 12 minutes or so and have some time for Q&A. And then if you have a 9 o'clock meeting, we'll be absolutely finished by 9. And for some reason, if we're not, please just jump off. So with that, if you go to the bottom of your screen, you can open up the chat. And at the bottom of the chat window is a blue drop-down menu where you see hosts and panelists. Click that and you can click on everyone and share your thoughts with the whole community here this morning. So what's the question, Tara, for everyone?
Yeah, so again, good morning and welcome. So the question is, when I am struggling either physically or mentally, what is the kindest thing I can do for myself? So when struggling, the kindest thing I can do for myself is, and Suzanne, how about if we start with you and then I'll share a few thoughts while people are gathering their ideas together. So how about you?
Well, from the simplest thing, just take a breath.
Yeah.
Because I know I tend to be, if I'm having an extraordinarily busy day and in the morning especially, I just have a little bit of caffeine, and sometimes it affects me more than other times, and I'll just be going and realize, well, I'm going to exhaust myself for the rest of the day. I should probably take a breath. Yeah. So how about you?
No, it's good. And I think, Suzanne, also just kind of catching that pace, right? And again, like these practices that we're doing together really help us remember and catch it with greater frequency. So that's why it's called a practice and why it's so valuable. Depending on what it is, for me, sometimes I'll just offer myself phrases, loving kindness phrases. And it could, again, I love that my teachers have always said, you don't have to actually feel that. You just simply need the intent for it. So it could be even, right in this moment right now, everything is actually okay and I'm safe. Like, something like that. It depends on the situation. It could be just, may I have ease, may I have ease, and, bring awareness to the body and just kind of see what's going on with the body. And it seems like a simple thing, but there's a lot of data that supports these practices. And so there is something for me, like my go-to when I'm struggling would be just offering phrases, depending on what it is. Yeah, but looks like we have
really like that.
Coming in.
Yeah, so let's go to the top. Walk, meditate, pray, pause, and take a breath. Dropped onto my mat. That's great. I feel like if I have my mat out, open, there is a lot more opportunity that I'm actually going to stretch in the morning versus having it up in my closet.
Yeah.
What task I can reschedule and do it.
Yeah.
Put my hand on my heart and pat it. Or sink my face in my dog's furry neck. Oh,
that's the best.
The total best. Calming music, rest, eat chocolate chip cookies.
Yes.
John, I connect with that one. Step away from what I'm doing and breathe with intention.
Yeah.
Good. Drink water. Listening to guided meditation interrupts the thoughts inside or while walking outside. Remember to be self-compassionate. I found it helpful just to recognize how I'm feeling and allow myself to feel it.
Yeah. No, these are great. And I think, one of the reasons for just populating is as a community to really share these ideas too. And yeah, it's so helpful, and it doesn't take a lot of effort actually. Yeah.
I have, and one thing that I'd mention on my phone, in the notes part of my phone, I have some quotes that I really like, or poems.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's always there for me.
Oh, that's
Sometimes
great.
I
I love
prefer to have
that.
a poetry book, but yeah, if you can just have it there, as and some of the, most of them are pretty very
Yeah.
positive
Yeah.
reminders. So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and start practice. So again, for anybody that's joining us for the first time, that's new, the practice is guided, but I do offer some stretches of silence, like 2 to 3 minutes where you won't hear me. But we'll settle in with a body scan and just really allow ourselves to arrive here with each other in this community. So go ahead and take a posture that feels like it's going to serve you best this morning. And that could be sitting or standing, also lying down. I always say a little bit of caution with lying down, that sleepiness could set in. So if you're feeling especially sleepy, sitting or standing, and also eyes open helps with sleepiness, but gaze downward a little bit. So go ahead and assume a posture, eyes open or closed. And just take a moment to see how the body is. What is being offered? What is the body offering you in this moment? So what are the sensations that are being produced from your activity so far this morning? So it could be a pulsing or vibration, temperature, points of contact. Just what's going on as you settle into stillness. This is when we can be more aware of sensations in the body, when we stop, remove distraction, and we're still. So watching the attitude in the mind, keeping one of receptivity, curiosity, openness to whatever is happening, and letting go of all that has happened this morning, releasing anticipation of what's next. Bringing the mind and the body together. And for a moment, just notice your surroundings in terms of sound, hearing. It could be in the room you're in, or outside of the room, or outside. So just open the lens of awareness to include sound. And allowing sound to remain as it will in the background. Begin to bring awareness back inward to the whole body. And begin to narrow that focus of awareness even more. Looking for an anchor to help ground and stabilize your attention. So much like an anchor helps to stabilize a boat that wants to wander with the current, that anchor pulls the boat back. So using either the sensations we're aware of when we breathe in and breathe out, so as the body breathes, where in the body do you notice the sensation of the breath? Belly, chest, abdomen area. Could be the air entering and leaving the nostrils. Could just be the movement that you're feeling, but you're really feeling from the inside out. Another stabilizer for attention, if the breath is difficult for you, would be sound. If there's a consistent sound in your background, It could be a point of contact with your body and the surface, either the back of the body, the soles of the feet, the palms of the hands resting on the thighs. So you have a few options. So take a moment to just see what, as the mind wanders into thought, which is natural, we're not trying to stop thought. We're simply seeing that when the mind has engaged in memory or planning or any narrative at all, we just make a soft mental note, thinking. Release the storyline, soften your body, and then escort your attention back to your anchor. So this morning, I'm going to use the belly because as I breathe in and out, I feel the expansion and contraction it's most notable for me. So I'll track the in breath, feeling the belly expand, track the out breath. But you have options. So I'm going to be quiet for the next few minutes. Noticing where the mind is in this moment. Soft mental note, thinking, soften the body, and just escort your attention back to whatever you're choosing to help anchor and stabilize the mind. And again, noticing where the mind is, softening the body and returning. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And for all of those known and unknown to us, may they be peaceful and at ease. May their heart be soft and open. May they be safe and protected, and their bodies healthy and strong. And may the merit of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. And as you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can go ahead and open the eyes. And even if they were open, so just reorient to the space that you're in. So maybe take a look around, take a bit of a stretch.
Thank you so much, Tara.
You're welcome.
A little added time is always welcome, right?
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, I think it was a little bit more than 12 minutes, but would love to hear from anybody who wants to share kind of what that experience was like. And again, sitting in meditation is not always pleasant. So, I really try to just normalize that when we sit in this way without distraction, we might feel anxious. And that's actually important to note, to feel, and to receive, that have a receptive attitude toward that. So, yeah.
Loretta, you crack me up. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you
Yes.
for that, Loretta. Having to have time to pause. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
we think of, it's interesting when Tara, and I'll just add a little bit, and I don't want to take,
Yeah, of
please
course.
pipe in, folks.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Kristen, a gentle lead into the anchors, especially the sound.
Mm,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I love that. Thank you for that, Kristen. Yeah, and Tara, you mentioned stillness and finding ourselves in stillness, and I really love that word, because just to look at it for a minute, that it means every meditation, it means something different. Stillness
Yes.
could be,
Yes.
when we compare to what we're doing before we sat down,
Right.
there's a massive amount of stillness, but still there can be so much turmoil going on in
Yeah.
our bodies and our minds. And that's just
Yeah.
part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
part of it.
Really good point. Really good point. So the body is, still, and more often than not, there's a lot going on. Physical sensations, emotions that you feel, the physical sensations as a result of the thinking mind, proliferation of thought. It's all part of it. Yeah. And we're not actually pushing anything away. We're not resisting anything or trying to create a special state. We're trying to see if we can be in the state we're in ultimately and have more balance with that state.
Yeah, and I love the analogy of the boat, Tara, with the anchor too, that
Yeah.
it's such a natural thing. The anchor is just this soft thing that just is there to bring us back. And you can picture yourself
Yeah.
being on that boat, and even our bodies might not be
Yes.
still. Our heart might be
Yes.
pounding, but
Right.
still. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No. True.
Karen
So
says my
true.
dog jumped in my lap as we started and seemed to know when my mind wandered because he would paw at me and pet him since I was stroking him as the anchor. Oh my gosh.
That's
Love
so great.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I remember a few years ago leading a meditation, and we were all in person, and it was somebody that I've known for a while, and she said that her mind was so busy during the entire meditation, thinking, planning, remembering, regretting, that she was certain the person next to her could feel the thoughts. Like,
So
and
interesting.
I
Yeah.
know, I know. So, yeah, and again, just normalizing this. And some days are going to be busier than others. And, you know, I guess what I want to say is there's nothing to really be frustrated about because of that. There's no need for frustration. It's more really learning to be with whatever has shown up and it not being a problem. That's the hope that this practice offers us, that we could actually be physically or mentally unsettled, but it's really not problematic because we have learned to gain some stability with all of our states. And one of the ways to even know if practice is working or not, because that's like a common question, how do I know if it's working? Is how are you relating to everything that shows up in your life? How are you relating to and engaging with that cold you just came down with, or that person who pushes your buttons? Do you have a little more space, less contraction? And that's the promise that it holds, because everything is always changing, which is good news. It might not be good news if everything's going smoothly. But there can be a subtle holding on to that, like, oh, things are great right now, and don't want it to change. But of course, that's just not the truth of how things are. These are natural laws of the universe.
Yeah. Yeah. Loretta says, I read somewhere that these flotsam that appear during quiet times might be things to write down to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Food for thought, right?
Yeah.
If it's there, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not random. It's there for a reason. And maybe, like you said, maybe it's just something we haven't dealt with. And it's just an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
I want to read a poem that I had shared with Tara that is from Suzuki Roshi. He once said that sitting a session or meditating is like rowing in a small boat to the middle of the ocean, and the boat sinks. That could be disturbing if we identify with the boat, or illuminating if we identify with the ocean.
So
That
great.
just, yeah,
Yeah.
that whole quote kind of just gives me chills, but to the point of, how are we dealing with things? How are we
Yeah.
looking at things?
Yes. What's our perspective? Yeah. Is there a way to shift our perspective if it's not serving us, if it's causing suffering? Yeah.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
thank you, Tara.
You're
Anything else, just as we have one last minute, if anybody thinks of anything, but
Yeah,
a big
and
thank you.
always, share any kind of apps or links or books that anybody has come across that they really love and wanna, just wanna think of this as all of us bringing our wisdom together and sharing resources and ideas and yeah, yeah,
Well, we will be back here on Tuesday since we're almost at 9. And yeah, feel free to share at any point.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Kristen. Yeah, feel free to share at any point. And we'll be back here on Monday with Mary Star Green. So
good.
wishing everyone a peaceful, restful weekend as it comes towards us now.
Yes,
We're at that Thursday
yeah,
point. So hope you all are continuing to do well. And thank you for your practice. And we'll see you soon.
yeah.
Thanks,
Bye,
Tara.
everybody. Thank you.